So, Leute, hier ist euer Kam wieder bei Honkai Starrail. Beim letzten Mal haben wir einen richtig nicen, den Kamen Rider Sam da bekämpft. Und ja, haben rausgefunden, dass Schwan und dieser eine Gambler da, Entschuldigung, zusammenarbeiten. Und ja. Ah, die Tier, das sich ja verändert. Was sind die Nummer? Ah, Ching Yuhan. Was den will ich eigentlich? Aber die Asta hat ja gerade die Karte mit denselben Dingen. Machen wir das, weil ich da sowieso einen auswählen kann später. 8. So, und wen kriegen wir? Tipp. Ich habe was mit Essen gemacht. Ich wollte gerade basen und ich höre schon gerade die Musik für 5 Sterne. Der erste 10er bei diesem Update jetzt, wo es gewechselt hat. Okay, wenigstens habe ich die. Harmonie. Nee, was ist denn das? Okay. Das wäre für Astra eigentlich gut. So, wie viel brauche ich noch? 80. 79. Ah ne, ich kann. Okay. Ich glaube, ich kann später auswählen. So, Bailu. Guter Healer, geht Upgrade. Wenn die Belebung endet und die LP dann 5 vollständig sind, 8 Punkte wiederhergestellt, Alter. Die halt und macht, dass ich schneller meine Dinger zünden kann. Alles klar. Ja, ich hab genug von denen. Ja, außer von der Blume, aber ich glaube. Warte, was? Was ist das? Traum drin? Ja, egal. Noch was? Ah, da. Wie? Ich habe den nur einmal okay. Ich habe gedacht, das war, glaube ich, Erinnerung von vorherigen. So, Albtraum TV. Wer ist der Mörder? Ah. So, schauen wir mal, was die macht. Die ist Typ Harmonie. Wenn Sparkle am Kampf teilnimmt, wird die maximale Anzahl der Fähigkeitspunkte erhöht. Okay. Fähigkeitspunkte wieder her.
Watch this.
Ihre Führung. Wir werden für Gegner unentdeckbar zu Beginn des nächsten Kampf. Ja, alles klar.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this.
Und jetzt. So.
We're in trouble now.
Oh Gott, das hat es gemeint? Okay. Wer war nochmal der Schaden macht? Ja, Heiler haben Unterstützer auf alle und nochmal Unterstützer. Kann schon da.
Gotcha. Oh, this sucks. Stay calm.
Danke. Ja, muss sowieso nicht geil werden.
Choose a strike.
Kritische Schadenerhöhung.
Let's play hide and seek. Can you find the answer?
Die Schadenerhöhung jeder Stapelung des Talents von Spark mit zusätzlichen. Was? Oh Gottes Willen. Erhöhung Angriff 45%, Angriff 500. 117, Geschwindigkeit 10, Schaden um 72,7. Ist das insgesamt oder das mal 3? 83, ach du Scheiße. Warte, nee, was ist kritischer Schadenerhöhung? Warte, schauen wir gerade. Ah ne, das ist kritischer Schaden. Kritrate 68, schon fast eine 50. Also nicht fast, sondern über.
Wow. Stay calm, my turn.
Jawohl. Und wie viel Schaden mache ich?
Pay for that. Commencing research. I'll go easy this time. Feeling spiffy? Wait for the tiles.
Ich will noch mal einmal Angriff machen und schauen, wie viel maximal Schaden ich machen drauf.
A thousand wonders to raise your spirits.
So.
Finest one.
Energieerhöhung.
To travel far away. Taste.
Sorry. Hab Hunger, also.
Choose a strike. Look at the draw. Please, and victory!
Ah!
Did that hurt? Wait for the tiles. Come on.
Noch einmal?
Wow.
Ah, leider.
Let's be friends. Yeah. Let's play for a while.
Ja, der war RIP, ey. Glaube ich auch eine gute Kombi damit. Habe ich das nicht schon gemacht? So, aber jetzt machen wir weiter mit der Story. Du, schwarzer Schwan. Was hat all... Wer ist der Mörder? Ah.
My. You look like a small injured animal. Are you still willing to talk to me? Of course, I'm still willing to be your psychotherapist. I admit I made a transaction with that gentleman to bring you before him, but this is also a safe place. He needs you. It's essential if we want to reclaim Penacony. Recognizing his immense potential and the invaluable memories he can help me gather, I opted to join forces with him. In Penacony, everyone may be lying, and yes, that includes me. I can't deny this, nor do I seek forgiveness. But do you still remember? I said, I have faith in your potential. And that's not a lie. The Garden of Recollection wants to witness the future of the Astral Express trailblazing the cosmos. And as for these memories, I will treasure them. I do not have reasons to hurt any of you. Instead, I will continue to assist you. Provided you are willing to accept my assistance. My take on this might surprise you. In my view, he's a trustworthy individual. Not for any other reason, but because he's an exceptional businessman. In this vast universe, no one values honesty in contracts more than a merchant. But always be on guard, particularly when making agreements with him. Scrutinize the details. Beyond the confines of the contract, your rights are off his radar. He'll go to extreme lengths to ensure his advantage. I still believe that Miss Firefly's situation is deeply connected with the Stellaron Hunter, just as we speculated. But, as you've heard, Aventurine has his finger pointed at the Galaxy Ranger. I can't fathom why he'd draw that conclusion, but given his access to the IPC's intelligence network, we should seriously consider his perspective. Moreover, I believe Miss Acheron is also hiding something. No. In fact, I should say she's hiding everything from us. It was an unexpected finding from an earlier encounter. With regards to the Annihilation Gang, I can also prove that what Aventurine said was the truth. That's why, during this golden soirée, she is the dance's centerpiece. Why, of course. But now is not the time. I know you're confused and sad. Whoever that girl might have been, a living soul, a memory that was meant to last. She simply vanished. Like the dissolution of bubbles in water, disappearing in an instant. No matter what, I hope you can trust Aventurine. Or rather, trust me and see the truth with your own eyes. This can lead us deeper into the secrets behind Benaconi. I will protect you. Once I gather more information from him, I'll make sure you're safely returned to your companions. For the truth, and to prevent more unnecessary sacrifices. It is the right choice. Later, I'll stay by your side as a mimetic entity, just in case. Time to set off.
Okay.
Go and meet Aventurine, or I could still choose not to help.
A little something for everyone.
Das Snacken. Ah, die Tür ist rot.
Excellent. I knew you would come. By the way, about that memo keeper... Never mind. I won't press the issue further. I've said before you can liaise with your companions, or even twist the narrative against me. I'll wholeheartedly embrace it. It signifies your potential. I don't do deals where I'm on the losing end. So, my friends, don't let me down. Please, this way, if you will. Oh, right. I remember mentioning something after that. What was it again? A familiar hallway, a familiar room. Do you remember? Last time we met was right here.
So, ich muss da gerade noch das nehmen. Weil es gibt mir immer Schatz.
This is it. Just beyond this door. Take a deep breath and get ready. Oh, I remember. My friend. After that, we played an enjoyable game. Tell me, doesn't this feel eerily familiar? I remember everything now. This was what I told you at that time. Look, friend. The game has already begun. Allow me to make you an offer. One you can't refuse. No reason to choose otherwise. And no other choices.
Brother, I'm back.
Welcome back. How is your preparation for the performance coming?
It's fine. Don't worry.
It's fine? No, this is not good. You're the pride of the family. Don't let those unnecessary emotions affect your perfect pitch.
No. Brother, you seem to be in low spirit. What's happened? Is it because of the Watchmaker's guest list?
Yes, I received the report that death had taken some of them. Perhaps someone was behind it. I'm sorry, I forgot you just came back. You probably wouldn't know about it. Somehow, a nightmare called Death has descended upon Penacony, striking indiscriminately, bringing spiritual death to all equally. In the utopian dreamscape envisioned by the family, such sorrowful incidents shouldn't arise. It profoundly undermines the equilibrium and serenity of the dreamscape. How detestable.
I can't believe this has happened. Was someone killed again?
Yes. There were two. One was a stowaway, the other was you. That's enough, fool. Your deeds have saddened me.
Pretty sharp, aren't you, chicken-winged boy?
The Odes of Harmony talks about honesty. The words of a fool begins with foolishness and end in treacherous arrogance. Please leave. Their dreamscape doesn't welcome you.
Oh, come on, lighten up. Why so serious with all the quotations and references? I'm just curious. Now things have come to this. Is the family still unwilling to fight? I mean, your darling sister's already a goner, right? Really? Don't tell me you're not craving a little vengeance.
not yet time. When the fated day arrives, I shall mete out justice with unyielding righteousness.
Wow, you can endure that much? Truly a heart of ice you've got there. Hey, maybe we could actually get along. How about this? I'll stand in for your dear sister at events. Surely you don't want the world to hear the Charmony Festival's been called off.
The family has a plan. And do not dishonor my dear sister with your deceitful tongue again, fool.
All right. Just putting it out there. If you're ever in a pinch, remember, I've got your back. I mean, who could resist a guy rocking spikes on his wings?
There's no need. The malefactor has been exposed under their radiant gaze, and will soon fall by their own machinations. Should the transgressor fail to turn away from this path, their sword will be honed, their bow strung, causing the malevolence the perpetrator spreads to befall them. And when that time comes, the heathen will realize they're but a mere mortal, doomed to descend into the netherworld. And I will join their vanguard to announce this good news to you personally, Watchmaker.
Ah, das war kurz vor der Trailbase-Mission. Zwischenpause. Bleibt dabei, um herauszufinden, was in der kommenden Fortsetzung stattfindet. Bleibt dran. Schicksalsfaden. 4 Sterne. Herr Dr. Edward. Oh Gott! Jetzt kriege ich gerade so einen Traum, Süchtigkeit, galaktisches, fantastisch groß aus der Zukunft, Tick-Tack, Tick-Tack. Ist es... Das ist, Clocky. Schlachthof. Was gerade im Duett. Alter, ich find's voll mies von von der einen Frau. Mädchen, keine Ahnung. Sie hat sich einfach als seine Schwester ausgegeben, obwohl der weiß, dass er tot ist. Was für eine Bitch. Schicksalskreuzung. Töse. $700. Oh, viel schon. So, macht das nicht auf. Was? Was war das andere? Spargelwunderpaket. Warte, ich habe irgendeine Mülltonne gerade mit Baren gerade bekommen. Wo ist die? Nicht hier? Was ist das? Ah, ich muss jetzt nicht mehr diese Scheiße sammeln. Achso, da steht sogar, wie viel ich im Besitz habe. Ah. Ja, von dem brauche ich viel. Gottes Willen, 2000 habe ich von denen jetzt. Nicht abgeholtes Paket. Okay. Ja. Unbekannt Puzzleteil. Wo ist die Mülltonne mit bei? Ah, da ist sie. Mit Arm war das. Und was? Was? Unantastbarkeit der Mülltonne. Verbindung nach den nächsten Kampf. 20%. Geht. Ja, puh, ich habe schon genug Materialien. So, jetzt schaue ich mal gerade, was die Karte kann. Das Maximum. Jede 100 Punkt Verteidigung. 1000, das wäre schon 8. Ja, 8. Was wäre, wenn er jetzt schon auf das wäre? Da geht ja auch Verteidigung dann. Das wäre jetzt schon 9,6. Ja, den auf Def mache und dann geht er ab. So, was machen wir? Prüfen, nicht prüfen, aber so. Duett. Ich wollte erstmal zu Clocky. Clocky. Da. Wenn ich mich erinnern kann, dass man da abgeben soll. Abgeben kann.
It's getting late. Where to now?
So, kannst du abkaufen? 11:20. Ah. Hä, wieso 11:20? Ich sehe gerade jetzt, was ist das für eine Karte? Sache der Wahrheit. Was für Überfluss. Falsch. So. Hanus Abenteuer. Ich habe mich über dem... Ne? Ah, ne, habe ich nicht. Okay. So, Dr. Edward.
Trailblazers from the Astral Express. Welcome to the Dreamscape Sandstorm. Oh, please excuse me. I struggle to think of an appropriate way of addressing such esteemed guests as yourself. I've already made the necessary preparations. Be careful. We did pass the safety inspection stipulated by Article 027, damaged ferrets, and Article 076, waste. However, this stream's will feature unfiltered and unpolished fresh memory. It will make for a very vivid experience. Veteran gamer, call this type of dream a thrill dream. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing. If you feel any discomfort, please leave the dreamscape immediately and seek professional medical help. Luckily, I just so happen to be an excellent doctor, albeit a psychiatric one. Let us begin. Please, close your eyes and rest your forehead on the dream bubble. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. That elegant girl mentioned something before she left.
The nature of this memory is special. Don't ruin the dreamscape experience for anyone else by spoiling the ending.
Okay. Kann... Oh, okay, dann füge ich mal hinzu. Schnellinformation. Ah, so, okay, danke. Ja, komm. Oh.
In my estimation, there is no question about it. This is murder.
Murder. Such a foreign word to us. The people of Penacony could never come to any harm while under the watchful protection of the family. In a dream, even if you're bashed 1,000 times with a hammer, at worst you'll still wake up in reality in a hotel.
Not necessarily. Even if the result does not constitute harm, the criminal intent is clear enough. You specifically came here to cordon off the scene because of the unsavory nature of this case, right?
You're not wrong. Even if there are no casualties, being smashed over the head with a hammer in the middle of the street for no reason at all? This is not the kind of thing that happens on Penacony. You are guests of the Oak family, so you may investigate the crime scene. I'll be on standby over here.
Are you a witch? Just how did you manage to convince them in the blink of an eye that we're some kind of detectives?
Just some suggestions at the memory level. If something happens in everybody's memory, then that something becomes a fact. If we had a little more time, I could have even convinced her I was Shipe the Harmony. Then, on to the next order of business. Let's discuss your companion, shall we?
Memo Keeper of the Garden of Recollection. I've been watching you for quite some time. You stole a glance at me when you first entered the hotel. You followed me wherever I went inside the dreamscape. In the windows along the commercial street. In the pond water reflections of the Ideen Park. Even in the reflections of the wine glass. Everywhere. My dear, do you have a crush on me? Well then, seeing as you're so interested in me, let's play a little game. I left a puzzle for you near OT Mall. Solve it and prove that you're capable of pleasing me. If you can solve it, then we can talk. Don't leave me waiting, my dear. Before Penacony gets flipped upside down, try to find me, catch me, and stop me.
There's actually more than one memo keeper who's come to Penacony. She's mixed me up with someone else. But no harm, no foul. The address that the mask gave you is right here. But you never would have thought that when Miss Sparkle mentioned a game, she was talking about wanton slaughter on the streets of Penacony. Such a direct act of provocation is enough to get my competitive side worked up too.
Madam, forgive me. I had no idea about anything she said. As you saw, I went through a brain scan and everything. I'm just a friend, helping her deliver a letter, that's all. I never knew this was actually a declaration of warfare. They say you shouldn't kill the messenger. So, maybe you can just, let me go? You all are the big shots here. I'm really not on your level.
What a frightened look you have. Don't worry. Since this has nothing to do with you, I won't be suspecting you of anything. Why don't you come take a stroll with me?
Oh, seems like I can't escape being an assistant detective. Oh, fine. It's all fine. No big deal.
Wieso habe ich das Gefühl, die zwei hätten sich nie treffen sollen? Aber for real.
Make a wish.
A little something for everyone.
Ich habe so das Gefühl, die hätten sich nie treffen sollen. For real, ey. Also, shippen und nicht shippen gleichzeitig im Moment habe ich so das Gefühl bei denen.
If there's anything you'd like to know, please ask away.
Who was the victim?
An IPC employee named Shamari. Eyewitnesses reported that a tall, strong man wearing a large robe with long sleeves walked right past Shamari, then suddenly assaulted him with a hammer. Shamari collapsed on the spot and woke up from the dream. The murderer vanished in a flash.
Ooh, that sounds just like Sparkle. Her best asset is transforming her appearance to look like someone else.
Who are those two little guys?
Seems like the assailants stole the troop from elsewhere and deliberately placed them here. What nerve. They don't even have the slightest consideration for public order. Those two have clammed up. I wonder if you two could help pry open their mouths.
Looks like a puzzle that Sparkle has left behind for you.
Shampoo, can you shut the fuck up? Niemand braucht diesen Senf da.
Any leads yet?
This is a developing case, so there aren't many clues yet. All we have to go by are the weapon used by the assailant and the victim's ID. They didn't even take the weapon with them. Sounds like they're trying to provoke us. Despicable.
Where's Mr. Shamari right now? I'd like to meet him.
I'm afraid you can't. The Oaks came forward and calmed him down. Mr. Shamari expressed that he understands the unpredictable nature of dreams, and went on to vacation in another dreamscape. Best not to bother him. Guest experiences always have to come first.
Oh, I'm afraid by the time we find him, half of Penacony will have been sent back to reality by Sparkle.
Looks like we'll have to play this little game of sparkles then.
Oh mein Sparkle, ey, du bist echt so Stressverursacher. Hallo? Anaka.
Lady Black Swan, you're here! I'm the constable, and this here assisting me is the bailiff for this case. Mr. Cold Feet, why'd you do it?
So they can talk after all. Miss Black Swan, they're heading straight for you.
Don't interrupt, I wasn't talking to you. I understand Lady Black Swan has quite the intellect. I'm sure you'll be able to get to the bottom of the Sparkle murder case.
The Sparkle murder case? Wasn't the victim Shamari from the IPC?
You're wrong, Lady Black Swan. The victim is evidently none other than the matriarch of the Goldhammer family, Miss Sparkle Goldhammer.
Oh, I guess Miss Sparkle has written herself into the skit here, and this has nothing to do with the actual case. Goldhammer? Is that her real surname?
Never heard of it. Sounds made up. Sparkle doesn't sound like a real name either.
Miss Sparkle was supposed to receive 3 valiant warriors at the Goldhammer residence today, but upon their arrival, all they found was her body. Miss Sparkle such a brutal act of violence. My investigations discovered that the 3 warriors were supposed to escort supplies back to their territory the day before, but they were unexpectedly ambushed by the Annihilation Gang. They narrowly escaped and barely got away with their lives, finding their supplies almost completely raided. So they all shared a motive for killing Miss Sparkle, to escape punishment.
So the 3 of them teamed up to kill her.
Huh?
Is the case closed?
No, there can only be one murderer. It's not an unsolved mystery if there are 3 murderers. Hang on. Wait.
If you can't justify it, don't bother.
Got it! Those 3 were all vying against each other to be number 2. They couldn't have cooperated on anything. So it must have been one of them acting alone.
That actually doesn't make much sense. Even if they were on bad terms, those 3...
Please begin your investigation, Lady Black Swan. There are lots of clues at the crime scene that are sure to help you apprehend the real culprit. I've got the case file right here. If you want to learn more about the suspects, talk to me. Lady Black Swan, allow me to introduce the 3 suspects to you. Lefton, Zhongshan, and Wright. Lefton is one of Miss Sparkle's chief lieutenants, whose right hand was unfortunately severed while he was valiantly fighting off the Annihilation Gang. He's now learning how to write and hold a fork with his left hand. How tough that must be! Then there's Zhongshan. This guy's a coward who ran away as soon as a group spotted some bandits along the road. He ended up smashing into the side of a cliff and getting his face disfigured. It's a real shame, as he used to be one of the rare handsome men left around town. Last of all comes Wright. This guy was so insatiably greedy that he still came back to try and embezzle the rest of the supplies after they narrowly escaped with their lives, lying about how the gang had taken off with everything. Lefton and Zhongshan were so incensed that they broke his legs.
Hang on, I'm confused here. Left on? Right? Is this some kind of joke?
What? Where did you get that idea from? Do you need me to go over it all again?
That won't be necessary. I've memorized every detail.
No wonder you're a memo keeper.
Lefton and right.
Look, an ID card. Talent Motivation Department, Shamari. Is this the victims?
Mr. Shamari's belongings should have disappeared alongside him as he woke from the dreamscape. The fact that this ID is here means Miss Sparkle placed it here on purpose to prove that she definitely attacked someone.
So, Beweisstück, Shamaris Ausweis. Das ist anscheinend der Hammer.
Holy moly! This hammer is super heavy! This must be the murder weapon for the Sparkle murder case!
Miss Sparkle also used it to attack Mr. Shamari.
I'm barely able to lift this using both hands! I have no idea how Sparkle could ever use this to hit a target!
Riesiger Holzhammer. Also muss jemand sein, der sehr stark ist.
Is that all the evidence? How are we meant to solve this with so little to go on? Oh, you scared me! When did you pop out?
The 2 pieces of evidence that you found are related to the attack on Shamari. Miss Sparkle didn't leave them lying around for no reason. They're clues to the puzzle. But there are still some other clues that were placed in other areas, so they won't spoil the crime scene.
Isn't that a bit unnecessary?
No. It's disruptive to have a stack of irrelevant things crowding a crime scene. Miss Sparkle is a law-abiding citizen who'd never bring extra trouble to the family.
Seems quite nice of her, if you ask me.
Looks like Miss Sparkle is adding a little spice to the investigation. Let's take her up on her offer then. Mr. Assistant Detective, this way.
Ah, jetzt machen wir auf Ding. Hanu Abenteuer, hä? Und das?
What's this little device here for? Could you please let me know? It looks like a little button.
Don't push it, Lady Blackswan. Whatever you do, don't push it! That's the mutually assured destruction button that Miss Sparkle installed. Once pushed, Miss Sparkle and the entirety of Penacony will instantaneously go up in smoke. Miss Sparkle also has her own button. The second she pushes hit, you and the entirety of Penacony will instantaneously go up in smoke.
That sounds like both buttons can do the exact same thing.
Correct. Exactly the same.
Oh,
Aren't you going to ask me why?
okay. Why?
Because she is fair.
This is nuts!
It's not. Deutsch, das steht verrückt, aber der hat gesagt, das ist nicht fair eigentlich. Das ist, passt besser als das. Because it's fair. It's not. It's not. Sorry. Einfach Knopf, Termination-Knopf für ganz Peganoi gesetzt, ey. Was für ein Scheiß, ey. Destruction-Button. Wieso haben immer diese bösen Leute immer so Selbstzerstörungsknopf, frage ich mich immer. Ah. Kann ich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, okay. That looks like a bunny. Bunny.
What's this? A plush toy?
Regardless of why it's designed to look like a conductor aboard the Astral Express, this doll, is it connected to the case?
Have you ever heard of something called a red herring in detective stories? It's a fake clue that leads you down the wrong path.
I see. But when it's so obvious, doesn't that defeat the purpose?
That's just in case you didn't realize the ingenuity of Miss Sparkle and were worried about her throwing out a random, useless clue.
I see. Thank you for your keen insight. Then, let's pretend we were misled by a red herring. This doll, could it be connected to the case?
You don't have to play along that hard, you know.
So. Oh. Ah, ich weiß, wie ich hinauslocken kann. Und bei. Ja, natürlich. Da gibt es mit die Entscheidung. Wieso gibt es mir überhaupt diese Entscheidung, wenn ich das machen muss überhaupt? Was ist das?
This notice seems like a hint for us from Miss Sparkle.
Um zu verhindern, dass Verbrecher unsere großartige und reißende Freundin Spargel verletzen, werden in der Goldhammer-Residenz ab sofort folgende Regeln gelten. Als Bedienstete und Gäste sind verpflichtet, die Goldhammer-Residenz mittels des Gesichtserkennungssystems zu betreten und zu verlassen. Wer nicht durch das Gesichtserkennungssystem durchkommt, wird am Ort und Stelle getötet. Wow. Diese Regeln gelten auf unbestimmte Zeit.
That sounded like a story from ancient times. And why did the facial recognition system suddenly go out?
This is so her style, isn't it? Doesn't look like there are any more clues. Let's head back to the crime scene.
Next, should we pin down the identity of the perpetrator? This evidence. I've been staring at it all day, but there's nothing that can identify the perp. Lefton, that guy lost his hand. Remember Zhongshan's face was disfigured after the incident at the cliff? Right? I remember this one best. Right has a broken leg.
Why don't we flip the question and start by asking who couldn't be the murderer? After all, there are only 3 suspects, so elimination could be a valid method.
If you put it like that, then do you already have someone in mind? Tell me, come on.
So, who exactly is the murderer? Remember Zhongshan's face was disfigured after the incident at the cliff? Right?
What wasn't this? This.
Poor guy. He was seriously injured and was all wrapped up in bandages to keep his good looks safe. If that's the case, then he couldn't have made it through the Goldhammer Residence's facial recognition system. That would suggest that Zhongshan is not the murderer.
So, who exactly is the murderer? I remember this one best. Right has a broken leg.
Gebrochenes Bein. Ja, er würde den Hammer, also der andere wird den Hammer gar nicht hochkriegen, also es kann es nur er sein.
Oh, is that so? I feel like the evidence doesn't really match.
Ja, meine Güte, ich muss ausholen.
Oh, is that so?
Ja, Chapu, don't provoke me. Also das hatte ich schon, das wird es nicht gehen und kann nur noch das sein.
Oh, is that so?
Okay.
Oh, is that so? Oh, is that so?
Hä, was habe ich jetzt nicht genommen?
Oh, is that
Okay.
so? Oh, is that so? So, who exactly? Lefton, that guy lost his hand.
Based on the bailiff's statement, Lefton's dominant hand was seriously injured to the point where he had to learn how to live using only his left hand. Swinging that giant sledgehammer to murder someone, that must be hard for him. Probably impossible. Lefton's suspicion level can be downgraded.
By process of elimination, it seems that only Wright could be the murderer. That was easy. Let's tell the constable our answer and see what he thinks.
Achso, ich muss Ding. Wer unschuldig ist.
Please begin your investigation, Lady Black Swan. There are lots of clues at the crime scene that are sure to help you apprehend the real culprit.
The murderer is Wright.
You have answered correctly! As expected, you didn't disappoint, Lady Black Swan. Game rules stipulate I must tell you where the next puzzle is.
Huh? The next puzzle? I didn't sign up for this.
Looks like the key to winning lies not in the puzzle itself, but in the motives behind Miss Sparkle's strange behavior. I'm afraid this chase may just go on forever.
I have to remind you that Sparkle is a masked fool? Do you plan on finding logic in the mind of a masked fool?
That's exactly what I plan on doing. Even if it's just subjective, there must be an overall principle behind the behavior. Memories cannot lie, and hers may just understand more about her than she does herself. Right now, let's follow her train of thought and head to the next puzzle. I hope this time we can get ahead of the Bloodhound family. I want to try and avoid using my Memo Keeper powers.
Aber die Zeit reicht leider nicht. Wir müssen Wright Nickelpad. Das war das nächste Verbrechen, also ja, zum nächsten Verbrechen, ja, machen wir beim nächsten Part. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen, wie Murder Mystery ist und ja, dass wir gleich mit der kämpfen können. Also sehen uns beim nächsten Mal. Ciao.